welcome to Newsclick. The controversy regarding A.K. Ramanujan's essay 300 Ramayanas refuses to die down. The Academic Council of Delhi University has deleted this essay from one of the BA history courses. And on the other hand, there are a lot of progressive voices who are saying that this actually curbs many kinds of freedoms, freedom of speech, etc. Within our university spaces. Today, we are joined by Githa Hariharan, eminent writer who has also used tales from our epics as well as folk tales in her own work, either to retell them or to comment on them or to subvert them. So today she speaks with us on the raging controversy which has actually occupied minds and spaces of a lot of us. Welcome to the show, Githa. So to begin with, who is Ramanujan, who is A.K. Ramanujan, and what kind of genre that he wrote in, that if you can talk about that a bit.
Well, briefly, to sum up an extraordinary life and to sum up some extraordinary work in just a few words, A.K. Ramanujan was a poet who wrote in English. He was a wonderful academic who worked out of the University of Chicago for many years. And I think of A.K. Ramanujan, like many other grateful readers, as an extraordinary curator, a curator of folk tales, of epic tales, of proverbs, riddles. These are the different things which actually make up this thing we so glibly call either tradition or culture in different ways. So A.K. Ramanujan used to describe himself very often as the hyphen in Indian American, Indian-American. So he'd often say, I'm the hyphen, the go-between. I think of him as a very valuable go-between for us in this bewildering and exciting place we call India. We need go-betweens.
So what about the text? The text which has raised so much of controversy. In 2008, the students from ABVP attacked a history department, the history building in Delhi University, and now we see what is happening. What about the text per se?
I think it's not the controversy we should react to first. We should go back and look at what is the fuss about. And then I think we get quite a few answers. Now, in this case, we're talking about an essay where, if I may be really crude and simplistic, Ramanujan is saying that the Ramayana is not just one, that the Ramayana is a big, wide, open space which contains much more than Valmiki's Ramayana. And he's giving you examples of many versions, if you like, variants, if you like, of the Ramayana. In other words, there are many people participating in the space called Ramayana. Now, what is that essay actually telling us? It's not, I don't think one should get bogged down in the fact that, oh, but in this Sita is the daughter of Ravana, in this Sita is the wife of Rama, in this, Rama is a particular way. He's a hero. In this, he doesn't seem quite so heroic. In this, Lakshmana kills Ravana, and in this, Rama kills Ravana. Now, all these are important, as variants are important, but it is telling you that Valmiki's Ramayana has an exciting series of not a supporting cast, but colleagues, other stories, and which are reacting to it, talking to it. All of them are talking to each other. Let me explain what I mean. We all know Valmiki's Ramayana, so I don't, need to go into it. But this is lit up, this epic grand saga is lit up by all kinds of little stories in the folk tradition and otherwise. For example, some of them might be quite small, nugget-sized, but potent. There is, for example, a little story about 16,000 sages falling in love with Rama. Okay, so now this is not your martial Rama, sort of marching down the street and saying, death too. This is a Rama who evokes love in 16,000 sages. And all of them want to turn into women to marry him. And he says to them, he responds to them with great generosity to their love and says, hang on, wait, I'll come back as Krishna and then you can be my gopis. You see, now, the point is not, only an idiotic literal person would sit there and argue about, but, is it insulting to the sages to say they want to turn into women because clearly women are inferior creatures? You might have somebody who's got that point of view. Or it's not right to turn Rama into Krishna, or whatever. Then you're trapped. This nugget is wasted on you. What is it doing to the other stories you know of the Ramayana? It is enlarging the space. It is letting more people ask questions. For example, there is one version where Lakshmana kills Ravana. That might possibly be one way of addressing the great questions you have around Lakshmana. Here is his brother hanging around. Does he have no political ambition whatsoever? So this is how tales function. They take on, no debate is too intimate or too big for them. And I think what we really need to emphasize is that if you mistake one part for the whole, then you're impoverished. You are not only shutting out these voices, you are depriving all of us of hearing the Ramayana in stereo sound. And this is true for the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Silappatikaram. All our folk tales have many, many versions. Let me actually be very practical and say, this is almost like saying, you can go to the library of your university and read the Ramayana, but you cannot listen to an oral version. You cannot go see the television version of the Ramayana. And I, as a writer, cannot write a modern novel set in contemporary Delhi with figures who interpret the Ramayana for me. So this is really what I wanted to say about the essay.
A natural question arises that why an original text over a period of time has so many retellings in different parts and by different communities, be it linguistic or religious or different castes. So do these different tellings actually show something about the society which has adapted to an original text as well?
Well, let me take that word you use. The whole point of something capacious like the Mahabharata or the Ramayana or the Silappatikaram is precisely that there is no original version, there is no official version. And this is the maddening as well as fantastic thing about culture, that there is no official version, that it really, this is when we say heritage, we use these words so carelessly. This is what it means. It belongs to each one of us. And it's like a huge mansion with open doors. You go in there, it's not a museum. It's not a museum with somebody saying, this is the first and correct version. And then very, very kindly, we allow all of you to come and participate and read it and learn, and maybe sometimes, if you behave yourself, to even do your own little retelling. That is not how it works at all. There is a certain, what shall I say, an essence, a kernel, a framework of a story, and then you twist it and shape it. It only means something to us if we retell it for our own times. So Sita as a character is only of interest to me if I can relate her to the times I live in, to the world I live in, to the person I am.
So what the Academic Council of Delhi University has done, do you think it is actually a major attack on the freedom of speech that we all proudly talk about?
Freedom of speech is a wonderful thing and we should defend it and so on. But I think I would shift the emphasis somewhat. I don't think this is so much about freedom of speech. Ramanujan has written this wonderful, perceptive, elegant, insightful essay, and he's gone. He's given it to us as a gift and he's gone. We are talking about the freedom that all of us have to learn from this, the freedom to hear. This is like saying that a child, when he or she is being told a story as he eats, that he can't hear certain versions. If I want to tell him a funny version of Hanuman, a Hanuman story, I need to go and consult some watchdog committee somewhere. The university and the classroom are spaces where we hope culture will be looked in within certain intelligent conceptual frameworks. But we don't produce culture in the classroom or, sadly, even in the exalted corridors of Delhi University. It is there and we learn from it. And what are we learning from this? Let me sum it up quite clearly. Culture gives and receives. It is not there. It doesn't sit there. It's not made of brick and stone. It gives and receives. So we have all these different versions. We go in there and we say, oh, I disagree. I don't want to be like this. I want, to have a different kind of Sita or a different, Mahashweta Devi wrote a short story where she has a Naxalite Draupadi. We can't, writers and filmmakers and dancers and singers will have to stop working if they're told how to hear all these multiple voices which make up culture. And that is true for our epics as well.
One of the dissenting voice within the committee of the four experts, or the four experts who gave the opinion, one dissenter has said, and therefore the Academic Council took the decision that it did, that it hurts this text might hurt sentiments of the young people because they won't be able to handle such thing. And also, it came in the media reports. The Academic Council has said that some of the teachers will not be actually able to handle the text, especially the non-Hindu teachers. How would you react to this? Somebody has said it's very arrogant on part of the Academic Council.
I don't know about arrogant. I think it just means that this is a person who has absolutely no idea what learning and teaching are all about. This is somebody who thinks that learning is a dangerous business. And perhaps in a way this person's right, because of course knowledge is a source of tremendous power. To know that there are different ways of seeing one particular text is one of the biggest objectives of education. As you grow up, what do you want to teach your children? That you have more than your own viewpoint.
I think this was a very enlightening discussion. Thanks for being with us.